Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Our group will be presenting on important and timely issue, how too much AI in classroom might hurt students' thinking skill. We have examined this issue from 5 different perspectives: social, ethical, educational, technological, and psychological. I will be starting with the social perspective. So let me begin with a simple image. Okay, imagine walking into a classroom where no one speaks, there's no social interactions, no group work, no eye contact, just students quietly engaging with screens, and AI silently guiding the lessons. Now ask yourself, is this still a classroom or just a digital workspace? In today's education system, AI is being widely used. And don't get me wrong, it has its benefits. It helps personalized learning, save times on grading, and gives feedback. But here's the social cost that often overlooked. As we rely more on AI, we risk losing the very thing that makes a school a place for growing people, not just minds. Classrooms are not just academic spaces, they are social ecosystems. They are where students learn how to collaborate, communicate, and build relationships. But with AI replacing human interactions, those vital social dynamics begin to fade. Okay, here's how. First, AI tools encourage more individual work. That sounds efficient, but it limits peer interactions. When students stop discussing ideas with each other, they miss out on learning how to listen, debate respectfully, and work as a team. Second, teacher-student relationships suffer. Instead of a real mentor who gives encouragement, guidance, students get automated responses. And no matter how advanced AI becomes, it cannot replace the social bond or emotional presence of a real teacher. Third, classroom culture start to change without face-to-face engagements. There are less chance for students to practice empathy, understanding body language, or resolve conflicts. So they are not bonus skills. They are essential for navigating life in any community. So if this continues, the long-term impact will be serious. A generation of students who are academically capable but socially underdeveloped. So what's the solutions? We don't need to remove AI, but we do need to rebalance it. So let's use AI as a support tool, not a social replacement. Schools should design learning environment that prioritize face-to-face collaborations through group projects, discussions, and peer learning. Teachers should remain central to the classroom, not sidelined by the screen. And most importantly, we must protect the social value of education because while AI can process information, only human interaction can shape character, relationships, and emotional intelligence. So, in conclusions, the future of learning should not be on choosing between technology and human connection. It should be blending both. So now that we have explored the social implication, let me pass things over to my teammate, Zach, who will continue with the ethical perspective of this issue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ayuni, for the great speech. Next, we are moving on to ethical perspective. As we all know, artificial intelligence or AI is rapidly transforming the landscape of education as it is. From intelligent tutoring system to automated reading and content generation tools, AI is being positioned as a powerful ally in personalized learning and administrative efficiency. As AI's popularity increases, educators and institutions are drawn to its promise of streamlined workflow and enhanced student support. This causes the rise of ethical questions about the influence on student intellectual autonomy and the moral development. Education has always been more than just information delivery. It's about nurturing critical thinking, independent decision making, and the ability to engage ethically in complex situations. When students begin to rely heavily on AI for solving problems, generating answers, or even forming ideas, the foundational principle of personal responsibility and intellectual growth come into question. And this was taken from Florida and Calls 2019. So, what are the complications? The main ethical challenge is how over-dependence on AI may undermine students' capacity for original thought and ethical reasoning. When students delegate thinking tasks to AI, whether it's using ChatGPT to write essays, or calculator to solve problems, or adaptive system to guide decision making, in the end, they may lose touch with the learning process itself. This threatens the student's sense of ownership towards their work. Furthermore, excessive use of AI in classrooms may blur the line of academic integrity. If students are not taught to critically assess when and how to use AI, it becomes difficult to distinguish the genuine effort from the machine output. Thus, this begs the question of who deserves the credit of the work, student or AI. This not only distorts assessment of student performance, but also disrupts the moral development of students who may not fulfill the grasp of ethical consequences of misusing AI. Another major ethical concern in equity. Not all students have equal access to AI tools, which could widen the existing gaps between privileged and underserved learners. Additionally, AI systems are often trained on biased data, which can perpetuate unfair treatment of certain groups. If educators and developers do not confront the biases, they risk embedding discrimination into learning environment under the guise of innovation. There's the issue of data privacy and consent. Many AI platforms collect and analyze students' data to improve performance, but students often have little knowledge or control over how the personal information is used. This raises the critical ethical question about surveillance, consent, and the right to digital privacy value that should be at the heart of any educational system. Thus, to address these ethical concerns, schools must adopt a balanced and responsible approach to AI use. AI should support and not replace human thinking. Educators need to promote student agency by encouraging critical thinking and independent work, even when AI tools are available. Clear ethical guidelines must be implemented by covering responsible use, attribution, and acceptable assistance. This allows students to understand the limits and implications of using AI. Ethics and AI literacy should be integrated into the curriculum, helping the student to reflect issues like fairness, bias, and academic integrity. Teachers should be trained not only to use AI effectively, but also to guide students in making ethical decisions about its use. Lastly, institutions must ensure that AI systems are transparent, fair, and privacy respecting. Choosing tools that protect student data and support equitable access with the right framework, AI can enhance learning without compromising students' moral and intellectual growth. That is all from ethical, I believe. So we move on to the next perspective, this educational perspective. I pass the floor to Umair. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary, for your brilliant point of view. Imagine a classroom where students no longer struggle to solve problems because AI does it all for them. Sounds ideal, right? But what if this convenience comes at the cost of their ability to think critically and independently? In recent years, AI tools have become increasingly common in university classrooms, from automated essay graders to AI-powered tutoring and content generators. These technologies promise personalized learning experience and greater efficiencies. However, while AI can be powerful educational aid, there is growing concern about its overuse. Excessive reliance on AI can cause students to become passive consumers of information rather than active thinkers. Instead of grappling with complex problems, students may simply accept AI-generated answers without questioning or analyzing them. This phenomenon is known as cognitive offloading, where students offload mental efforts onto AI tools, which can reduce memory retention and independent problem-solving skills. So, why is this issue particularly urgent for university students and lecturers? Educational institutions aim to develop advanced critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and independent research skills capabilities essential for academic success and professional readiness. However, many students are increasingly relying on AI tools to complete assignments, draft essays, or solve complex problems with minimal personal efforts. This overdependence poses a serious challenge for educators who strive to cultivate deep intellectual engagement and originality in their students. When students outsource their thinking to AI, lecturers face difficulties in assessing true understanding and providing meaningful feedback. This undermines the integrity of academic work and the development of essential higher order cognitive skills. If this trend continues unchecked, educational institutions risk graduating students who lack the critical thinking and problem-solving abilities necessary for research, innovation, and leadership in their fields. Moreover, educators may experience frustration and burnout trying to counteract AI-driven shortcuts, which can diminish the quality of teaching and learning. To address the risk of excessive AI, reliance on demanding university students' thinking skills, a strategic and balanced approach to AI integration is essential. Universities should adopt frameworks like craft model, which emphasize rules, access, familiarity, and trust to guide responsible AI use in teaching and learning. This means establishing clear discipline-specific policies on when and how AI tools may be used in coursework, respecting academic integrity while allowing AI to support learning goals. Faculty should empowered to define these policies within their course to maintain academic freedom and relevance. Secondly, implementing AI literacy program for both students and lecturers to build critical understanding of AI capabilities and limitation. Workshop and training session can equip all stakeholders to engage with AI tools thoughtfully and ethically, fostering transparency and trust on campus. Last but not least, redesigning assessment and learning activities to require students to demonstrate their thinking process, interpret AI outputs, and engage in higher order cognitive tasks that AI cannot replace. This supports lecturers in accurately evaluating student learning and discourage overdependence on AI-generated answers. So I urge educators to pilot programs and integrate AI responsibly with focus on critical thinking development, invest in teachers training, and empowers educators to get students in using AI thoughtfully. So that's all for my point of view. I will pass to my other teammates who will explain on technical perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Omai, for the perspective from the educational perspective. So, as previously discussed by my group members, the integration of artificial intelligence (AI) into education is growing rapidly. From a technological point of view, this brings both big benefits and serious problems. Many schools and universities now use AI to customize learning, handle administrative work, and improve communication between teachers and students. However, as AI becomes more involved in classroom system, it increases schools' digital presence, making them more open to cyber threats. Unfortunately, many institutions do not have the technical supports to properly protect themselves. So cyber criminals are now using AI to carry out advanced attacks that put student information and educational systems at risk. So the increased use of AI in education has led to more advanced and harder to detect cybersecurity threats. One major concern is AI-generated phishing, where attackers use AI to create realistic email that tricks students and staff into sharing passwords or clicking harmful links. Another major threat is deepfake technology, which use AI to make fake videos or audio that look and sounds exactly like school officials. So these deepfakes can spread false information or request unauthorized action. This risks can also affect how students think and learn. Cyber attacks can confuse and disrupt lessons, making it harder for students to focus and stay engaged. When trust in digital system is broken, students may become unsure about what real or fake, which can weaken their ability to think critically. Also, being constantly alert to online threats can increase stress, leaving students with less mental energy for solving problems or thinking deeply. Relying too much on AI without understanding its dangers may lead to students to accept AI-generated answer passively instead of using their reasoning skills. So, to deal with this new cybersecurity challenge, schools must build strong, layered protection system. First, they should use AI's based security tools that can detect strange activity and identify AI-driven threats quickly and accurately. Second, educational institutions need to improve access controls by using multi-factor authentication and also limiting who can view sensitive data. This will help to stop both outside hackers and inside risks. And finally, cybersecurity training is very important. Both educators and students should learn how to spot AI-driven scams like phishing, emails, and deepfakes. Better awareness and training have been proven to lower the chance of falling for these attacks. So that's all from my perspective. Next, I will pass to my team members.
Thank you, Ashril. Now that you have heard the social, ethical, educational, and technological perspectives, I'd like to close our discussion by focusing on the psychological impact of too much AI in classrooms. Today, AI tools are everywhere in education, from chatbots that help with assignments to platforms that personalize learning. On the surface, this seems like a win. Students get faster feedback, instant answers, and lessons tailored to them. But psychologically, this growing reliance on AI raises serious concerns. Let's start with critical thinking. Psychology tells us that the brain grows stronger when it struggles, when it wrestles with complex problems, analyzes situations, and reflects on mistakes. But if students turn to AI every time they are confused, they miss that mental workout. Instead of developing thinking skills, they are getting used to quick, automated solutions. Over time, this can reduce their cognitive independence, the ability to think deeply and solve problems without external help. Another concern is emotional development. Learning is not just intellectual process, it's emotional too. Frustration, curiosity, motivation, even failure. All of these experiences help students grow emotionally. But when AI replaces human guidance, students may feel emotionally disconnected. AI doesn't notice when a student is anxious or struggling. It doesn't offer encouragement, empathy, or support. As a result, student may start to feel more isolated, less resilient, and more dependent on technology to feel in control of their learning. Research by Lim and Wang in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that students who heavily rely on AI tools report lower levels of engagement and self-confidence compared to those who learn through teacher interaction and peer collaboration. And according to Education Week, some psychologists are warning that students are starting to outsource their thinking and emotions to AI, a dangerous shift that can weaken both cognitive and emotional growth. So, what can we do? Psychologically speaking, the solution is balance. AI can be a helpful tool, but it should support, not replace, real thinking and real emotion. Students should still be encouraged to think for themselves, to make mistakes, and to reflect. Teachers should continue to guide students emotionally, provide feedback with empathy, and create learning environments where human connection comes first. It's also important that educators are trained to recognize signs of AI and overdependence, like reduced creativity, shallow thinking, or emotional withdrawal, and take steps to re-engage students in deeper, more human-centered learning. Let me end this with education is not just about getting the right answers. It's about developing the mind and the heart. It's about struggles, reflection, connection, and growth. And these things cannot be automated. AI will always be part of the classroom, but how we use it will decide what kind of thinkers and what kind of people our students become. Thank you. That's all from me.